A night shone in blinding flashes of red and blue. Emergency sirens howled the moonless pitch. Anamorphic shadows and sapient silhouettes danced in jolts and violent vacillation as they sought refuge from the strobing salvo. Inconspicuous in her presence beneath the brightest light, she sat slumped upon the creaking stoop. A ghostly apparition, seen and unseen. With a bowed head, she sat orthopneically upon the stoop in a mild, breadthwise sway. Her eyes scanned the crimson and clear droplets spattering the weathered wood in quick saccades until they congressed and pooled between her feet. Then, against the throbbing pain that raged in her skull like some caged creature, she looked up beyond the lights. She tried to find just one star, but saw only a void, an empty black expanse of nothingness. The denizen silhouettes once in mass trickled to peripheral few, spectators in this public psychological autopsy of a neighbor and their home, everything laid bare for their judgment. It's her fault. Why'd she stay? She must have got caught doing something she had no business doing. Police radios chirped incoherent chatter. Paramedics placed an ice pack on her eye she was to hold but didn't. They asked her a series of questions she must have answered satisfactorily because there were no follow-ups. Over and over the night played again and again. She struggled to string together shattered reflections and fractured memories into coherent recollection. Fear stricken her body rigid. She shimmered in the night chill, as a baby gazelle lost in wavering tall grass with encroaching leonine growls encompassing the dark, to which she had no agency. A bedlam of name-calling, screams and flailing fist, and a floor of shattered glass. He'd burst open the locked door while she showered and charged like a raging animal, ramming her into the wall before dragging her out by the hair. He trampled and stomped her under steel-toed boots, then lifted her by the throat. She gasped. He squeezed and she pleaded, clawing at his arms. She cried, begged, appealing to the red-eyed beast grumbling through grinded teeth. She prayed it would stop, but it wouldn't. When he leaned forward to constrict, he tottered, and she slipped out onto the wet floor. Scrambling to her feet, she was met with the bony knuckles of a backhand against her face. He threw her into the mirror, her head and elbows shattering the glass. She pleaded, asking, begging for answers. There were none. He dragged her into the living room where she could see through swelling eyes the dinner she prepared for him. For them. In the dining room, still lit under a flickering candle, she told him she loved him over and over beneath the barrage of punches, and in return, he spat and called her a bitch and a whore. Stealing her voice, her strength, her self-esteem. He beat her bare, hopeless. She blamed herself, hated herself. She was unforgivable. Unable to see the monster he was, she wallowed in the mire of self-deprecation, feeling trapped in a web of her own making. Death to stay. Death to go. No, she is not okay. She is not okay. She'll never be okay. Nor the woman she once was. She looked at the man she loved, shackled and caged in the back of a police car whispering, "I love you," through the glass. A sentiment she could not return verbally or through muted, swollen lips. The police cars left, and the street darkened and quieted to chirping crickets. Above, the stars began to return one by one from the void. She arose to her feet upon the creaking steps and turned to enter her home, tattered beyond redress. She stopped. Noticing the steps stained with her blood, she cupped her mouth and released her remaining tears. She couldn't move. The sidewalk, the street, the beyond. The stairs was a path leading in both directions,